Hi guys, what's going on? And welcome to Total War 8 Princes, the pretty new DLC for the Total War 3 Kingdoms. So I've been playing this for quite a few hours now on the DLC, and I must say I've kind of been enjoying it. It basically puts the period forwards about another generation, about another 100 years from the Three Kingdoms period to the 8 Warring Princes period, and it kind of gives you new characters to pick from. It reskins some of the units, expands some of the building trees, and generally just sort of adds a few new things and kind of increases refinement. So of course you get the 8 princes to pick from, Sima Yong. I've been playing with Sima Ai, something like that. But there's quite a few to actually pick from, sort of ranging in difficulties from some of the smaller people who have kind of a hard position of it based on their sort of geography, etc., through to kind of all the other different ones. And each of them has their own abilities. If we click through, we kind of start to see some of the different abilities, like reinforcement range, campaign movement speed. I like this guy mostly because it's a stupid reason really, but mostly because I always find that my ammunition runs out really quickly. But these are basically all the different people that you get to pick from. And they have some unique units, for example, like some of the Imperial Guards, things like that. They have specific buildings. I wish this woman would shut up in the background. And there's various different types, and they kind of added in and expanded on the existing unit range and stuff like that, but not massively so. If you consider the base Three Kingdoms game, it has quite a good range of different units that you can recruit, and while this does add to that, it doesn't add massively so. We're adding like one, maybe two unique units for a faction, kind of reskinning some of the stuff, and that's the other thing, a lot of it is just reskinning. But that can be kind of cool. It does add it adds new characters for the period. Again, a lot of reskinning just from the base game. But then it's currently for sale for like $6.99, so I guess what did you expect? We're not going to get a whole new game out of it. And if you've been playing Three Kingdoms for a couple of hundred hours now and still want to continue, it certainly adds quite a nice little bit of variety in my opinion. You still get the option to flick between the romance and the records options, same as in Three Kingdoms, so that all sort of interacts well. And you still get obviously the range of campaign options as you would normally. So that seems to kind of work quite well. So let's hop into my campaign with Sima A, and we'll kind of see how that looks and talk about a few more things there. So this is my campaign with Sima A. I've been playing about 40 turns, 45 turns, something like that. And yeah, I've had a bit of fun. I've been playing around with some of the different units, some of the different building types. I've kind of been pushing down and trying to sort of clear my southern border and sort of work my way up. But I have been enjoying it. I've been enjoying playing with Sima A and testing out the different units. So to sort of show you a few of the things that sort of seem to be a little bit different, at least from my perspective. Of course, I haven't tried out every faction in Three Kingdoms yet anyway. We've got a lot of the reform-based stuff, which is kind of just about reforming China, and it has an impact on how things work. So you can kind of see, if we hover over it, if I can get it to hover. It shows me my points of reformation. Different buildings give reformation and some take it away, and that kind of has an impact on what you can and can't achieve. So the more reformed you are, kind of the more options you get, the better research rate, more prestige you get, etc., higher ranks, etc. And there's also spiritual and sort of mind-based reforms, which are based specifically for your leader. So when you get a series of quest options and things, you can push more into the wealth alignment, might alignment, mind or spiritual alignment, and that kind of helps shape and give you another sort of range of bonuses to deal with. Although I do find kind of by the end, if you're not careful, you end up with such a range of different bonuses and things going on. It can get pretty complicated to work out where you want to push things, because it just becomes into such a mess that it becomes pretty complicated to actually kind of work anything out. We've also got this is the sort of progress tree towards being the victorious prince, the one who actually gets to be the regent for the emperor. As you can see, I'm currently prince, working towards Grand Prince, mostly based on prestige, so you need to get more prestige to reach the higher ranks. And obviously, ultimately, you're going to want to knock out all your rivals, Sima Wei, Sima Liang, etc., to become the main regent of China. So it kind of opens up a few new options in that way. Obviously, we get some sort of specific units. We get things like the infantry of Jing over here, archers of Ying, which are kind of cool. It's nice to have these different units and things, and nice to make them available. Again, they don't feel like anything particularly special. When you look at them in battle, they don't look like anything drastically different from what we already had. So, kind of in that regards, it's just a reskinning of the existing game. Obviously, same map, different placement of the various different units. Same diplomacy mechanics. No real drastically new mechanics introduced in the game I haven't found yet compared to the original Three Kingdoms. And that really is my bulk of my opinion on the most of the game. It's the fact that it's a nicely done reskinning and different starting positions of the base Three Kingdoms. But for £7, be like $8 or $9 for most of you if you're in America, it's really not very expensive, and I guess it seems pretty reasonable value. It's going to open up certainly a good bit of extra playtime for those who've certainly played a long time on the Three Kingdoms, and it's nice to open up all the different factions and stuff with the various different starting positions, different traits, but as I say, nothing really particularly new in the way of mechanics. So we'll probably just hop into a battle now, have a look at some of the different Simmer A units that we get, just so you can kind of see some of those reskins, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I shall see you all in the battle. So I just wanted to give you a very brief idea of what I talk about when I just say some of the new units actually in battle. So these are the infantry of Jing. You know, don't get me wrong, they look super cool, but they're not particularly different just from the medium spear guards. They're just the same sort of unit with slightly buffed stats and a slightly different skin. They look quite cool in yellow though, I must admit. And then behind them we have the archers of Jing. Again, not vastly different, they're just sort of a medium archer infantry. No, they look cool, and I mean, you can see their stats from both their melee and ranged power. Ranged power is over 100. It's maxed out, so they're a good and decent unit. But you know, they don't look that different from a lot of the stuff in the standard game. Not that there's necessarily that vast amount of difference to bring in. I just think if they were going to do this as a bit of an overhaul DLC, it would have been nice to see a wider range of units brought into the game and a bit more available. Because you know, like for example, over here there's the cavalry, Manta Sabin militia, same as before. And stuff like that, and there's a lot of pretty standard units. There's a lot of generic G militia who, you know, you get in the base Three Kingdoms game, so it is cool, and I guess there isn't that much to change necessarily. I just feel that the actual total amount of change between this and the base Three Kingdoms isn't that great. More of a reskinning. And I know I keep saying this over and over again, I just kind of wanted to emphasize that so people at least know what they're getting. For me, I think it probably is worthwhile, even with the reskinning, even with it just being a reskinning, because I think it's kind of cool, the fact that there's new starting positions. It kind of makes it all more interesting and stuff like that. These poor guys are just going to get absolutely bloody flattened, aren't they? They're not going to have a very fun time here. Come on. Oh, this is not very neat. Look at this. Where's the army discipline gone? I'll wait for them to wander into range if they so desire. And our guy forward, see if we can get him dueling one of them. Doesn't want to duel. Cowards. Okay, well, the enemy cavalry is not having a particularly fun time of it. Put my range shield on. Dear me. Well, we'll just let our archers do their own thing. These poor guys are going to have a bit of a rum time as they get cut down here. Guan Shen is not going to come out of this alive, I don't think. There's still no one want to duel. No. Jeez, the archer fire. Brutal. They seem to have increased ammunition capacity in this version of the game as well. I know it's one of the abilities of these guys, but even so, it seems to not be much more than 25% increase. Let's wipe these guys off the face of the map. Saber militia. Oh, they're wavering, wavering. Oh, let's see if we can get a volley off at him before he hits. Oh, he managed to get his hit. Okay, well, we can deal with some of those archer militia. That was an easy game.
The enemy general is fallen. They were no match.
Oh, he's still alive. Kill him! He's not got a great deal of health and he wants to rout already. or archer militia just going to get absolutely hounded by arrows.
Enemy unit what cowards!
So, this guy's actually still alive. I can't really shoot him with arrows. Out of the way. No, he's determined to chase down. I've got a hamstring somewhere, I think. Yeah, there we go. The enemy general has fallen. Victory. Cool. Well, that gives you just a very brief idea of the reskinning. A really pointless battle. I was just finishing off a few enemy units that needed to be killed, and I just thought it would be a good opportunity to show you that. So, I mean, really, that summarises my opinion on the game. I might do a Let's Play about this because it's kind of an interesting campaign. I am enjoying it. But, yeah, it's pretty much a reskin. Different starting positions, different heroes, different faction abilities and adjustments, slight expansion to some of the unique building trees, no major mechanic changes. It's that sort of a DLC. It's a new campaign map, not a sort of a brand new campaign. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of what it's like. For me, it's worth it because it's cheap, but yeah, quite good fun. Anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel for lots more Total War content, and I shall see you guys all on the next video.